up, you guys? It's Griffin and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys the story of my crazy downstairs neighbor. Okay, so I don't really have like an outline and I didn't really plan anything to talk about specifically, but I just kind of sat down in front of the camera to see where this takes us. So I was practicing lines with Mikey and Luke, and I think they were actually practicing lines together, and I was just on my computer and they were being a little bit loud, but it's daytime. It's like 2 in the afternoon. Like, it doesn't matter if you're being that loud around 2 because the sound curfew starts at 10 p.m. and goes to like 8 a.m. or something around those. They're practicing lines, and out of nowhere, my downstairs neighbor comes up and he knocks on the door and he says in the most quiet tone of voice, he goes, "Will you please keep it down?" And they're like, yeah, like, sorry, we didn't mean to be that loud, but we'll keep it down. And so they start being a little bit more quiet, and that's fine. I understand that if someone asks you to keep it down, like, you should keep it down. So we were like, okay, like, let's aim to be a little bit more quiet. Then I go out of town for a few weeks because I was in Arizona and I was in New York and I was all over the place, and I come back and I have a note on my door that says, "Hey, I would appreciate it if you would keep it down." And I was like, I've been out of town for about 2 weeks. There's no way in the entire world that I could have been making noise. I come up to my apartment really late one night because I was on set for something with Awesomeness TV, and so I come home to my apartment and all I want to do is sleep. So I lay in bed and I am exhausted, like so exhausted I just want to sleep, and I want to fall asleep right away because I have to wake up early the next day to go back to set. Well, I can't sleep because the downstairs neighbor is being so freaking loud that I like literally can't sleep. This is where I went wrong. I was annoyed and I didn't want to go downstairs and knock on their door because I was in bed. So I hit the floor 3 times and I was like bum 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 and hit the floor. They didn't stop. They continued being really freaking loud. So I do it one more time and I hit the floor, dun dun dun. And all of a sudden you hear their downstairs door fling open and you hear them run up the stairs because the stairs are right next to my apartment. You hear them run up the stairs and they start banging on my door so incredibly loud. And then they start banging on my windows, and then they start jiggling the door handle as if they're gonna try to get into my apartment. You don't do that. And especially if it's like late at night. It was like midnight. So I was scared because I was like, what the hell? Like, what do I do? I didn't have pepper spray at the time. I didn't have like anything to protect me. So I call Margarita and I'm like, Margarita, can you please come stay the night? And she's not in LA. So I was like, okay. And I call Mikey, but Mikey has a huge audition the next day, so I couldn't bug him about it. And at this point, I was scared. I took a video of him banging on the door, and he also went back down to his apartment and started banging on the ceiling. He's yelling at me. Not gonna answer the door. Goodbye. So those were the 2 videos that I took that night, but I was really freaked out and I was scared to leave my apartment the next day. So the people who run the building were out of town or like whatever, holiday weekend, and that's fine. So I just stayed at Mikey's for a few nights because I was scared and I didn't want to come back, and I was literally like terrified. So my mom orders me pepper spray, and she also went a little overboard and also got me a taser. I remember this was around the time of my wisdom tooth surgery because I wasn't able to go to the office, so my mom went for me, and she was like, my daughter's terrified in her apartment. She does not feel safe. Like, this is not a friendly environment that she feels comfortable in. And they were like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. They gave me like extra keys, extra everything. Nothing really happened other than like a few noise complaints from them, and they were like, I wasn't even in town, so I don't understand where those noise complaints are coming from. So the other day, I was about to take my nephew to Disneyland and they start banging on the ceiling. We're being quiet, and it's also noon. It wasn't like midnight and it wasn't 6 a.m. It was noon. So my dad runs down there and he's like, what the hell is your problem? And starts yelling at the guy, and the guy's like, no, I haven't ever done anything. Like, I've never knocked on your door, I've never knocked on your window, I've never done anything. And my dad's like, okay, well, my daughter has video proof of it, so. And the guy later that day goes to the leasing office and complains that my dad came to harass him, and he also tells them that he's gonna move out, which is like the best news ever for me because I am so frustrated with him. Well, 2 nights ago I was doing laundry. I admit it was midnight and I probably shouldn't have been doing laundry that late, but it's also my apartment and I should be able to do laundry whenever I want. Anyway, this time instead of the guy coming up here, the girl comes up here and she starts banging on my door, banging on my window, and I'm like, what the heck? So I swing the door open and I'm like, what? And she's like, do you know what time it is? You're doing laundry at midnight. And I was like, yeah, I'm well aware of what time it is. And Mikey swings the door open further and he goes, you need to stop coming to this apartment and knocking on the windows and doors. And he shuts the door and like slams it in her face, and she's like, so we're like, okay, like they're shut down, they're done. No, they're not done. They go and complain to the leasing office. But I had sent an email to the leasing office saying what happened entirely, like what was going on, and the leasing office never replied to my email, so who knows what happened with that. Anyway, they're just like super frustrating and crazy, and I wouldn't be surprised within the next few days if they come and try to break into my apartment because they've tried to do it multiple times. Moral of the story, do not move into an apartment complex unless you're ready for crazy people to live below you or above you. Anyway, that was it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below and check out some of my social medias. I will see you guys later. Bye!